Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
everyone, and welcome to Here Comes the Lame. How you like us now? I said, oops. Here comes the yikes. It's Sting. No, what is that?
Baseball on MLB Network.
I had you muted. Thank God.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Did you have me muted?
Thank God what you were saying was incredibly boring. Baseball's over. Baseball season's over. You didn't know? The Mets are out of it. Mets are playing the Phillies right now. Usually we would have heated discussions and impassioned arguments. But, I completely give up. I punted on the season as soon as the Mets did. So, all hail the Phillies and your stupid hat.
The Mets punted out of the stadium and over the state line. They blew the team up.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Hey.
Said, fuck all.
Yeah, who cares about this? Not us. Stupid.
That's really stupid when teams buy a bunch of top players and they're just like, you know what? It's not working out. Yeah. After 3 months, 4 months.
Well, it was they basically just had a bad month or a bad month and a half,
Yeah.
So by mid-July, by mid-June or whatever, they're trading all these fucking guys. Disgusting. It makes me
trying to move picks and the system around too, the minor league system.
What kind of tea are you drinking? Some kind of fancy tea?
No, just that ginger stuff you can find anywhere. It's the powdered stuff,
Nice.
It's crystallized ginger, you just pour it in there.
Sounds good. Okay. Who cares about baseball? Football is on. New York Football Giants. 10.5 points.
An even worse New York franchise.
Yeah. 10.5 point underdogs. Are they in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes.
Home of WrestleMania. Whatever the one when Seth won.
Yeah, Levi Stadium. Shout out Prince Havoc, Brian, everybody in the chat. Appreciate you for watching. Replayers, people who replay, appreciate you watching as well. Here comes the lame, Daddy-O. Today is a busy news day. We are going to talk about our bets in fantasy football. We're going to talk about our gaming adventures. We're also going to talk about all of the layoffs that happened in WWE today. TKO merger, just wreaking havoc on the roster, both internally and on the superstar side of things. And then last night, AEW was in our hometown, my hometown of Queens, New York. We have hung out at the Stadium Grand Salami before, but we guaranteed a boots on the ground report. Well, guess what? Neither of these pairs of boots were on or anywhere close to
no one in the Bullies and no one in my network went. Actually, I know one person that did. He flew all the way from Chicago. So people I know flew in for Chicago for it, but the people that are the closest don't go, and that's a very telling thing when it comes to AEW.
Yeah, no, and tickets were $5.
Yeah.
But, hey, what are you going to do? It was a pretty good show. The crowd was good. But, tuning in from TV, I was very upset because I texted you. I was like, it just looks like the same old Dynamite.
Yeah.
The roof was closed. The lights were low.
Is it closed? It's not. Arthur Ashe isn't retractable.
It's retractable.
It is?
It's goddamnable.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the U.S. Open plays under the night sky, the evening sky.
Okay. Fair enough.
So do you have any bets on San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Football Giants this evening?
Yeah, I took the 7-point early up early 7, whatever, gimmick on the Giants.
Money line, and if they go up 7, instant cash out.
Or if they just win. It's also a normal money line too, but you get instant payout. So they want you to jump on that, get your money and roll it right back in.
Yeah, which I will not do. I will take my 10 cents, and with Giants at plus 300, I could see them going up to for an early touchdown, maybe strip sack fumble type of situation. 7-0 Giants. Or they get the ball first, just pass the ball like maniacs, go up 7-0. Probably going to lose 47-7. But, we could get
the NFL, with all the turnovers and, swaying of bets and You don't know. You can't predict it. You can't be like, oh yeah, it's going to be a blowout, because people thought that's what the Eagles Chiefs thing was going to be, or at least them like, winning. And look what happened there.
Did you see? There was one game over the weekend. I think it was the Rams game, and the spread was 7.5, but the other team was up 10. Right, so it was like Rams minus 7.5 or something. I don't know. It was something like that, where it's like the team that was down had 7.5 points, but they were down 10. So it was like underdog plus 7.5. They're driving. They're trying to score. But they're just running out of time. They're at the 40-yard line. 5 seconds left. Instead of just letting the game end, they kick a field goal.
And fuck up the spread.
And lose by 7 and flip all the money. Ridiculous. It's scripted.
Yep. That's why you got to that's why you got to make your own script. You got to buck the system. You got to, take some stuff that isn't, that high of a wager, because they cap you at the early win thing at like 10 or no, they cap you at 25. So they know there is a way to win this. Like this, you're probably going to win this as a 50-50 shot of getting this.
Right.
But, but when you start doing all the other stuff, it's just like it's more in their favor. So you got to be very, still a risk.
These sons of bitches.
Buck the system.
I took George Kittle 2 touchdown catches. Boom. Let's go.
What are the odds of that? Like 27
It was plus 1,300, yeah.
Okay. And you use the profit boost too, or?
I think I did profit boost to bring it up to like 1,800 or like 21 or something. So it's pretty wild. But I just got a feeling he's got 2 catches all season, and I just think this is the night he's going to have 2 touchdown catches.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Speaking
George
of
Kittle. Wrestling.
Well, everyone's asking for a blowout, and I already had my blowout today.
What was your blowout?
I need a win in the betting column. I was doing DoorDash, and I guess I hit a curb, and it just was like,
oh no,
like literally a deflated balloon. They're just like, and the car was like, right in front of the person's house I was dropping off of. So I officially retire from doing delivery today.
You've retired. This is the last.
I had a brand new Civic, which had brand new tires 2 years ago, and I've had to get 2 new tires and 1 plug in only a matter of 2.5 years. That's not good.
No. Yeah, I think it might be your driving. Have you considered that?
It's the fucking.
Are you hitting these potholes a little too fast, you think?
Well, I mean, the potholes don't help.
You mean you are dashing? You're probably flooring it in between these deliveries.
No, I don't. I'm very lax.
We have a question from the audience that I want to pose to you, Joe. I want you to close your eyes and put yourself in this person's shoes. If you were trying to weasel your way into refereeing a no-ring match that you have no business being a part of, but we're already working at the event on planning, to just be there working and helping out, and you have the shirt, how would you go about weaseling your way?
This question in the chat, it was multiple.
Yeah, it's a long question.
Okay.
I want to give you all the details.
Bring the shirt with you. They're not letting you ref? That's what it is?
Well, I don't think there's been any kind of question about reffing. There's been no inquiries. It's like just we're trying to weasel our way in here.
Yeah, just bring the shirt with you, and then if there's no ref, just put the shirt on and then start acting like the ref.
Yeah, or you could Nancy Kerrigan, the current ref, hit him in the leg with a pipe.
Why?
You could give him the old Nick Chubb.
Urka says, got to get that warranty, boy. So I don't remember how much the warranty was. Like when you get a new car or lease a new car, it was I think like $500 or $600 extra, and you get like unlimited tires or whatever. Or I don't think it was tires. I think it was like only like unlimited oil changes or something like that. And then there was like another one for the tire gimmick, and it didn't seem right to me. But now looking back,
should have done it.
I mean, it's all right. Like the resale value of cars is way up, so no matter what, it's kind of like I'm leasing for free, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, you got to avoid those potholes. So what did you do? Did you change the tire right there in the middle of the
I
street?
attempted to change the tire and I just couldn't get the bolts off, so I just called AAA. I mean, I'm paying for that. It comes with it. They were there within 15 minutes. It was like some young guy.
And he just came and he changed your tire.
He put the donut on, and then I went to the mechanic, and then they had to do tire on within a half hour. So the whole ordeal was really only like 2 hours of my day. So not bad.
So
We gotta get that money back.
John Moxley showed up and changed your tire for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix this tire real quick. Watch this. And he goes like this.
Did you
Gigs himself. You were down on your phone. You didn't see what I was doing.
No, what?
I was gigging myself with my pen cap.
Oh wow, dude! To watch out. Did you see the video of CM Punk blasting himself in the head with the razor?
Yeah, that's what it was in reference to, because he did it like this. He was like under the table and he went.
Yeah, he was going for
it. Yeah. And then it was like you hear Nigel's like audible on that video. He's like, I was someone at my feet. And it was CM Punk. And then he was just like, CM Punk. And he starts stabbing the shit out of himself.
Yeah. It's like, hey, why are you jabbing yourself with that razor underneath there?
Oof.
Hey, way to go. Rest in peace, CM Punk. Maybe there'll be, there's going to be a lot of potential wrestling stars for Freddie Prinze Jr.'s wrestling promotion. CM Punk, of course, being at the top of the bill. But now.
This is still a thing?
Oh yeah, he's just waiting for. He was waiting for Top Dollar to get released. Now it's all systems go.
I'm pulling up the notes.
What are you playing? Are you still playing Subnautica from last week?
Yeah. It's becoming tedious, but I'm getting. It's all It's all crafting, bro. It's rough.
You got to just go get the resources and the part of the sea.
You can't just go get the resources, man. Like there's always something lurking out there waiting for you.
Just big ass fish.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, this is be a fine area, and you go a little too far out, and it triggers that giant thing. That's like, whoa. You're like, oh no.
That's part of why I'm
you're in your little sub, trying to get away from this giant thing.
That's awesome. Deep sea stuff is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
I don't understand what the planet like its rotation, what its like day cycle is, like how long it is. It seems like there's only like 5 minutes of daylight and then like 20 hours of darkness, and you add that to the depth of how many meters you're going down, how many hundreds of meters you go down. So it's just constantly dark when you go down there.
Yeah, well, I think when you're at the hundreds of meters mark, that it's just dark. It's just dark all the time. I don't think the sunlight.
But the game, they still make the game, this bioluminescent, like sort of like fish and fauna and plant life that illuminate when you go that low.
Sounds awesome. I'm playing.
And there's like an alien thing. There's like a whole alien backstory as well to it.
Yeah, you got to discover their artifacts and their stations and whatnot, right?
Yeah. But it's like so. Yeah, and then I guess like the main escape sort of I don't know, end game, if you will, is like you have to build a rocket, like a launch pad. You got to build the rocket, all the resources, a nuclear sort of engine or whatever, and then you beat the game that way. You just get off the planet.
Sounds dope. That sounds like a game I would never finish.
Yeah, I'm not gonna finish this. I'm just gonna. I mean, there's a new Resident Evil DLC that came out today. I might mess with that.
Nice. There was a Mortal Kombat 1 came out.
Did you see the Nintendo Switch version of that? The review of that and the images from that?
No, why is it like? Does it look like
really bad? It's like the eyes are like.
Yes, that's awesome. I love that.
Looks like it's like 32-bit and like the eyes are bulging out and they were like, yeah, we're gonna go fix that. Can't just port anything to anything, any system.
It's funny. I work with a guy now who's like the most annoying like techie guy ever, And he's got like the flip phone, he's got the one with the flip screen. He comes over, he's like, "Oh, did I show you the new emulator ripped game I got? Check it out, Mortal Kombat 1 for the Switch."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Wow, sounds great, dude."
On his phone.
Well, on his phone, I guess he was looking at like the pirated site, or whatever. So I was like, "Hey, that sounds great, man."
That's what you need to get. So you stop, buying these $70 games. That's what I need.
Yeah, I mean, I am getting my money's worth out of Baldur's Gate, however. I have 3 different characters going. I'm having a blast playing it.
You have 3 different characters?
Yeah, there's one that we do on stream.
Oh,
then there's another one that I started because my other game was like kind of crashing, but then I went back to the other game. So I have the Bard, I have the Orc, and I have the Paladin. Yeah, so we're doing like three different characters. It's pretty fun.
I'll get around to it eventually, but there's so much more on the list. And then I got Super Mario RPG that I think comes out next month. No, it comes out in November. They remade that.
That sounds great. And Payday came out, the new Payday game, which is a Chad game that everyone loves.
Yeah, that's definitely a Giga Chad game.
Well, I mean, listen, at least they have a loyal fan base. You can't talk shit about their fan base. Last week you went to a yard sale. Tell us about the yard sale. Is that back room behind you full of just things from a yard?
This stuff is. This is all going to get shipped. Just 2 boxes, but I sold 2 more things when we're on the air just now. So.
Wow, what are you selling?
I've only been on the air for 10 minutes. Let's keep it up. I need that tire money. In there, it's some like Star Trek, little starship figure. Another one is a copy of Silent Hill that I found through a wrestling buddy when I went down to Nashville. Another one is an action figure, like a Finn Balor action figure. And then I sold like a lot of Wii games that I got from a yard sale over Labor Day. But as for last week,
yeah, we want to know about the last week's yard sale.
Yeah, as for last week, I went to this like video game like only thing. First Saturday was a bust. We went all over with my girl like for 5 hours, and like we found. Oh, it's funny. We found this. First, we found this. I don't know. Do you know this game? Vampire the Masquerade.
I feel like I've heard about it before. It's like a wacky, crazy game.
Yeah. It's like it has a cult following. So this is a PC game, but it didn't come with the big box, and that's like way more desired, or way more valuable. But I found this.
Wow.
Baldur's Gate 2.
That's great. That's kind of what my game looks like playing on low settings.
Yeah. But these aren't very valuable. So anyway, we found some t-shirts and stuff like that on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I went up all the way by myself to Northeast Philly. And it was like a video game only. It was posted as like video game only sale, but we're not selling junk. It says we have everything from ColecoVision to PS5 and everything in between, but we'll be on and around eBay prices. And I said, okay, well, let's just see what this is about. I went over there. They had like 20 Nintendo DSs, 20 N64, all these PlayStation games, Sega CDs, everything. And everything was like just marked up to the roof. Like you couldn't, unless you were just like collecting, you couldn't make any money on this place.
So how much was like an N64?
They had like the translucent, one of those translucent N64s, like an orange, or like an orange cream kind of color. Remember how they made different N64s in all different colors and all different models? I don't know. I think it was like 100 something for that.
Sheesh.
And then I asked them, like I said, I just sold a copy of Silent Hill, and they had one there that was even better condition. And I was like, oh, how much for this? And the guy's like, he's like looking at it. He's like this. He's like, I'm gonna ask like 2. I'm like, I just left.
Damn.
$129.99. What's up, Larry?
Shout out Larry. I mean, Larry's probably right on. It was probably $130 exactly because Larry did win a showcase showdown. So he probably
$99.99. Yeah,
he would come within a cent
exactly.
of.
Yeah, $1. So speaking of $1, I go 2. So I'm kind of bent out of shape about that place, but they did advertise it as eBay prices. So whatever. I go 2 more blocks down and I find another yard sale, not advertised. And this guy, he has like the the NES zappers for Duck Hunt. He had like 2 of them out there, and
Like
he
the
had this
classic
other like
orange guns.
he had an orange one and a gray one. I'm like, you have any other video game stuff? And they're like, yeah, we have like all this old stuff and da da da. I'm like, you're gonna bring it the fuck out? Let's fucking do this, you know? He ended up not having any like NES stuff. He had a PS2 Slim, super slim, the one that's like, you know, thinner than this keyboard. You know what I mean? Like super small.
I had that one. Yeah, it's like a notebook.
And he was like $20, and I'm like, I'll take everything, you know, for, you know, you don't even know if it's even working, and all these Wii zappers and the condition. And I was like, I'll give you 10 for everything. Fuck it.
$10,000.
$10.
Wow.
He didn't have change. I gave him $12. I was a good Samaritan.
Nice, good. Okay, shout out, Joe. Shout out. Good for you. So what are you going to do with all these N64 zappers? Make a dope Halloween costume like RoboCop?
I'm trying to get rid of them, but they're not worth anything. They're worth maybe like $10-15.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, when I was selling my PlayStation 1 games, I was selling them for a pretty penny.
I found this. I also found that, well, this was another buddy of mine. He gave me this. I'm trying to sell this. This is fun also. Very fun. And then they had this. I'm like, let me just pick it up.
Oh, a classic 3D, a haunting 3D challenge.
And then I opened it up. Oh, no, that wasn't in there. There was nothing in there at the time. So it just was that.
Oh,
at least I got the jewel case. I think the jewel cases are hard to come by. This I stole. Yeah, this I had randomly. I got this for free. This is just a copy of Toy Story 2 Dreamcast. But yeah, I'm going back out tomorrow too. Going back out tomorrow at 7:30.
Nice. Well, if you find any basketball jerseys, send me photos.
Okay.
So, WWE joins with UFC and they become TKO. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford and Durag Vince McMahon go to the New York Stock Exchange and they ring the bell and they basically stole RK Bros logo and made it TKO because they're saving money. They're firing all their graphic designers. They're firing all the people in the office. And that happened last Friday. Last Friday it was like, hey, don't come to work. Just stay home and wait. And if we call you, you're going to get fired. But if not, you're good.
Uh-huh.
So
they waited a week.
Yeah, then they waited another week. And then the talent releases come. I guess the biggest name and the most surprising to clear space for Jade Cargill, no doubt. Dolph Ziggler, gone.
Shelton Benjamin.
Well, aren't you shocked by Dolph Ziggler? He's been in the company since 2004. The last remaining Spirit...
He's been gone like 7 years ago.
Spirit Squad members. He's wrestled 1,500 wrestling matches for WWE.
He should have been gone. I mean, I don't wish like unemployment on anybody, or, you know, everyone's got to make a living, but I think I don't know how much he was making there, but I'm sure he can do just fine on the indies and his comedy gig and not have to travel as much. You know what I mean?
Who's that female comedian that he banged?
The really crazy political one.
No.
Yeah.
No, there was one of the women who was in like Ghostbusters or something.
I thought he went out with what's her nuts, that she was the one that made Netflix change the rating system. They don't like do a star rating system now because she got viewer bombed, and ever since that, like, they stopped doing that years ago.
Well, Dolph Ziggler, hey, one of the best. Amy Schumer.
That's who it was, but that's her documentary got like review bombed, and then ever since then, I think she bitched the loudest, and then she Netflix just does like not the score. It's like, you will like this percentage.
That's how badly he wanted to be a comedian. He banged Amy Schumer. Commitment. I mean, that's commitment to your craft. So you think he's going to be in AEW with his brother?
Oh, yeah. I guess I'll go to AEW, right? And then do nothing. All right, that sucked. I completely forgot that AEW could just pick up all these people too. So they'll probably pick up They'll definitely pick up Shelton and probably Dolph. And then they'll just join the group of in catering eventually.
Man, I'd love to be eating sushi and catering all day for a job. Mustafa Ali, actually, he broke the news before it actually happened. It was like an hour before the news hit. Mustafa tweeted, I am longer working with WWE. I look forward to the future. Thank you. And then a moment later, he tweeted, no longer. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, he never really gave a shit.
So apparently he meant I am no longer.
Chicago, right? He was a cop
guy.
in Chicago, right?
He was a cop in Chicago, and he was also great when I first saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic. And, yeah, he was pretty good.
Everybody was great in that. That was like the best showcase of talent ever. Was the Cruiserweight one. Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, I am longer working with WWE. Then he goes, oh, no longer, sorry. Real name, Adil Alam. Ali worked as a police officer when he started in the business. He competed all over the independent scene before joining WWE in 2016 for the Cruiserweight Classic. Ali competed for the Cruiserweight title multiple times, as well as the Intercontinental title. A former leader of Retribution, Ali was supposed to face Dominic Mysterio for the North American title at No Mercy. But now
I made a mistake. No Mercy is not a pay-per-view. It's an NXT show this year.
September 30th. It's an NXT show.
And then Fastlane is the next main roster pay-per-view.
I was a little confused.
Pardon the confusion because it's really fucking confusing. And also Fastlane isn't Fastlane usually in between Rumble and Mania? I thought that's what Elimination Chamber was now.
I think you're thinking of Roadblock.
It was some sort of, because it's on the road to WrestleMania. So we're on the fast lane to WrestleMania. Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin tweeted 2 hours after the Ali tweet. Shelton Benjamin obviously, spell checked his. He said, I have been released from my WWE contract. I thank WWE staff, talent, and of course the fans for everything. Ooh, everything is capitalized. And then the next sentence is something ends, something new begins. And there's 2 spaces between something and ends. And then begins is a capital B as well. So this guy doesn't know how to use his phone either.
I think there was just get this tweet out and let me go about my day.
Yeah, but the thing is that if he is typing this tweet, his phone is auto-correcting. That means that he has formed habits of being terrible at grammar, and even if he's typing it correctly, at this point it's correcting it to be, what he normally does, which is obviously very poor.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to his next chapter. And yeah, he was an All-American Wrestling teammate of Brock Lesnar. Joined WWE in 2000, former United States Intercontinental 24/7 and Tag Champion. While with the WWE, he was a part of Teen Angle and the Hurt Business, 2 dominant factions. He was also the Ring of Honor Tag Champion and competed for New Japan. Are you devastated by this, Joe?
Not devastated, but I mean, these guys weren't doing anything, so I think they'll all be just fine with there being another company out there that's throwing millions around. They'll probably get an even higher paycheck there. But Shelton is also responsible one half of one of the most famous wrestling gifts ever,
which is the springboard super kick.
Yeah, well, it's actually one of the coolest spots ever. But yeah, it's also a gift that was very used as well.
Out of these 3 guys, these are like the top 3 names: Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, and Dolph Ziggler. Who do you think's most likely?
Dana Brooke is, I think, also a notable one. I mean, she was over TV a lot too, but yeah,
it's basically anybody who touched the 24/7 championship is being fired.
Well, yeah, that's when they have nothing for you.
All right. Well, I asked you a pretty good question, and you decided to just mention Dana Brooke and ignore me.
Repeat the question.
We're getting to Dana Brooke. Try to cool your jets, okay? The question is, out of the top 3 names, now there are big names on this list, Joe, but these are the top 3. Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, and what's his nuts, Shelton Benjamin. Which one is most likely to appear on AEW television?
Definitely Dolph. Yeah, I think you're right with his brother being there and
the brother connection.
Yeah, why not?
Well, and Dolph probably likes money, so he'll go be a coach there or do a match or two. He'd be like, hey, Tony Khan, I've always wanted to wrestle Sting. Tony Khan's like, wow, dream match.
Wrestle dream match.
Wrestle cream.
Yeah. Well, also Dolph has been like a jobber basically forever, and for the most part keeps his mouth kind of shut. It seems like, where so Mustafa Ali didn't, Yeah.
So well, Mustafa Ali's been dying to leave for like years.
Yeah.
He just trying to get unemployment so bad.
I don't blame him.
this one devastates me, and I'm going to read you the tweet that this person sent. And this was actually, just to keep the timeline accurate, this was after Mustafa's original, but before Shelton's. And this one I'm devastated about. I'm just going to read you the tweet, and I'm going to let you guess who it is.
Okay.
From drifting onto the scene to WrestleMania with John Cena and The Undertaker, to millions around the world for years walking with Elias, a #1 iTunes album. Oh, you see, he made the I capital in iTunes. So stupid. And to being my own younger brother. What? While traveling the world, it's been a blast. God is good.
Well, yeah, they pushed Elias forever, man, but like they never really did.
Elias, no!
No!
Yo, there was a time, and everybody likes to forget about this, but there was a time when Elias was the top heel in NXT. The top heel. Like, he would get booed out of the building.
And on every show, like, it was like, hi, I'm Elias. Walk with Elias, right? That was the gimmick.
No. This is really awesome, too, because Tennille Dashwood, Emma, who just came back, she announced that, or I guess she saw that WWE tweeted Elimination Chamber was going to be in Perth, Australia in February.
That's why she.
So she tweeted a dream. And then she quote tweeted that and put, oops, never mind. I just got released. I am no longer with WWE.
It like literally happened like in between that. Yeah, I wasn't having, these people are having a worse day than my attire going flat. So,
well, I mean, I don't know, because the severance, some of these contracts are probably getting paid. That's a lot of some of these severance are quite a few door dashes. Probably.
Do they actually get severance? I mean,
I don't know if it's. I know that the business, the freaking cubicle employees got severance, but I don't know if they're terminating a contract and there's some money left on it. But I don't think that it works like that. I think they're all independent contractors, and it's like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I don't think their contracts are as like juiced up like that.
No, probably not these people. Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah, actually, interesting fact.
Getting a push for a little bit.
Well, she holds the record, the world record, the WWE world record for the fastest victory in history at 3.17 seconds. I believe it was versus Natalya. And she had a shirt, Aaliyah 3:17.
She's responsible for also one of those awkward fan pics, like all these weird cringy fan pics they take at cons and at like WrestleMania Access and shit. And
why she was one of these like 10 feet.
She was like this, like usually someone would put the arm around her, arm around the shoulder. She was like this. And that's how she took her picture for like every fan on the line for hours.
Well, I mean, I don't blame her. Top Dollar. What will Michael Cole do now? Who will he make fun of now? Who will find and unearth all those WWE hidden treasures, Joe?
Vintage. Vintage Michael Cole. I don't watch SmackDown, and I don't even know the difference between these top dollar folks. So
Well, he's the big one that Michael Cole
the
always
big
shits on.
the guy that looked like JTG, and then the girl that was like Ratchet Sasha Banks.
No, this was the Michelin Man of the three of those people.
Yeah. But that was the group. That was the group.
Yeah.
Ratchet Sasha, JTG.
He did one. I guess it must have been almost a year ago now. He tried to do like a dive on SmackDown. There's like 6 people like kind of standing around the side of the ring, and he went to do like a flip, and just completely botched it. Like he bounced his stomach off the top rope and like awkwardly flew over and almost like decapitated himself on the bottom rope. And Michael Cole just openly laughed at him. And then every time he wrestled after that, Michael Cole would mention that he sucks. And he would call him Flop Dollar. Yeah. The only person who hates Top Dollar more than Michael Cole is Jim Cornette as well.
Toxic.
So, Top Dollar. He also was hunting the hidden treasures for a while.
What, the show? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was in season 1. He was hunting the treasures.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Because he always paid top dollar for the artifacts, you know?
Oh, okay.
For the treasures. Or he'd make sure that he never spent his top dollar. He unearthed a lot of treasures.
All right, who else was
Madcap Moss, who was in WWE for just long enough for Emma to come back to WWE, hit it off, got engaged, both fired. That's a win.
Oh, yeah, that's a win.
That's a win. He was working at WWE. Emma's a free agent, comes into WWE, comes back. They hit it off, get married, bang, bing, bada boom. Now he's leaving WWE, but hey, he's got a new wife. Well, I did it. I graduated from WWE. I know a lot of people think my career really took a downturn once Mr. Levesque took over, but in actuality, my per-match fee skyrocketed through the roof. Other promoter, get ready to back the Brinks truck up.
What?
The Brinks truck. I think that's like the ATM. It's like the armored truck.
Yeah. I figured.
I think the only reason I feel like that's like a security guard thing. I think like
Allied Barton.
Yeah, I feel like back up the Brinks truck is only something that like a guy who has driven an armored car at some point in his life would say. That's like armored car guy lingo.
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is that he has his CDL license and his security license, and he's available.
Back up the Brinks truck, brother.
Yeah. Hey, what wrestling promotion is going to be first in line to pay $3,000 to Madcap Moss?
AEW probably. I'm more intrigued to see who's may show up on the indies, because now we're headed into WrestleMania in a little bit. You know, I mean, it's still a few months off, but still, like, could get some spring break WrestleMania sort of matches going. You know,
none of these guys so far really intrigue me on the indies.
No, they don't.
Much.
Well, I mean, Ziggler's and all them are going to probably be signed well before then. Now I think about it. But these cuts may also not be over. Like, this might be the first wave, and there might be more.
Yeah, and they always sometimes cut people to restructure and stuff, so you never know. Rick Boogs. No, Rick Boogs. Eric Bugenhagen is a former NCAA championships qualifier. And he's a 2-time 24/7 champion. You know, that he's the guy who does the guitar stuff.
Oh, Rick Boggs.
Boogs.
Yeah, he's like...
Yeah. He's not Wade Boggs' son. He's Wade Boogs' son. You know, and he was in an Old Spice commercial, so that probably paid.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's all right. Oh, no, this is another one. Dude, they are just gutting the soul of Monday and Friday night programming. Mason Mansoor. Maximum Male Models. Done. No.
Well, he won't have to deal with Saudi Arabia anymore. So
this guy Mansoor just annoys the shit out of me. He's on Twitter with he's holding a baby. He's like, my time in WWE has come to an end, but my career is just beginning. Thank you all. Excited to get back to work. Please contact mansoorbooking@gmail.com for all booking inquiries starting December 20th.
start spamming him. I wonder how many people do that. Like, start spamming.
We loved you, man. Sorry about WWE, man.
Turns into a fan mail spam.
You should go to AEW, dude.
Are you going to show up at AEW? It's like a Twitch chat. It's like Adam Cole's Twitch chat. It's like, well, did you get injured when you jumped off the stage at Grand Slam? I was in bed.
You know, if I was going to give one piece of advice to Mansoor, it would be, you know, you got until December 20th, so you could like probably within a few weeks build yourself like a .com. So like, you know, you could have like a booking email that isn't like at Gmail that it's like he's answering it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like some kind of like booking agent.
So it's the 90-day then for all these guys, right?
I guess so. Is that 90 days from now? Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Mansoor on my local holiday show. And then you got Brennan Williams, who was Mace. And this one annoyed me too. After almost 10 years of making something from nothing, I'm excited to spread my wings and be myself for the first time. Let's take this anime reference to the next level. Step into the Grand Tour. I don't know what that means, but did he make something out of nothing, or does he just suck?
Who was that Mace that you just quoted?
Yeah, that's it. That's his tweet. That was
Mace.
That was the other guy who was not Mansoor in Maximum Male Models.
Oh, okay.
The big guy with the dreads.
Thinking American males. Then you
got Shanky. Unfortunately, Shanky was released. 2-time champion of the Great Khali's promotion. He did appear at the Superstar Spectacle. In 2021. More importantly, here's the headline here. Veer, still with the company. Veer made the cut. Yes.
Nah, they're not getting rid of those dudes. They just went to India, and those are like their bread and butter for that. They're only getting the India train starting now.
Do you know who Dabu Kadu is, who played in the Polish American Football League?
No, I do not.
He got released. Right. Your favorite, the one that really broke your heart, Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Bodybuilder, an Arnold Classic bodybuilder competitor.
The only one I was like
15-time 24/7 champion.
Dana Brooke was?
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's almost the Ric Flair of the 24/7 championship. And Quincy Elliott, I have no idea who that is.
No clue.
Yulia Leon, I have no idea who that is, and I think that's pretty much it, unless there's been more. But I think
wish you all best of luck in your future endeavors.
Hey, future endeavors, best of luck. There's probably going to be some indie out there that'll pay you your money, that'll back up the Brinks truck.
Rob Feinstein. They're all going to be on the Feinstein little mini WrestleCon that he does every few months here in Philly.
Do you think, like the big
Icons
top,
of wrestling, Battleground Wrestling, and
the
all that
big
bullshit,
event?
Yeah. Big event. That's out of New York, right? Big event.
Yeah.
Party, yeah, right.
Yo, you know what?
Mark fucking cash grab.
I would watch if Maximum Male Models showed up on the Indies. I would watch that.
I mean, it might be in GCW. You never know.
I feel like Maximum Male Models would do well on the Indies. Hey, let me ask you this. This just popped into my head. TKO, they're doing a freaking bonding thing with UFC. Do you think that some of these people, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's UFC. Let's get rid of the freaking Maximum Male Models. Let's get rid of the guitar playing guy. Madcap Moss sucks.
Going a little more serious, maybe?
Yeah. Like, Aaliyah sucks. I mean, Emma's good. Shelton Benjamin, that kind of is stupid because Shelton Benjamin's an all-American freaking wrestler, so that really blows up that whole theory. All right, forget I asked that.
I mean, it might be like, it was probably just like who is locked down for like how many years and just money thing numbers. You know, it is what it is. Like they're all like this bottom tier, maybe, you know, of pay, and they're like, all these people have to go.
Right.
And
yeah.
now we saved this many millions, you know what I mean? And now it's like, can we get rid of anybody else, you know?
Yeah, people who don't have guaranteed money and they're kind of just maybe.
Yeah, there's different tiers for the contract and stuff. So
yeah, and like they're maybe they're in a sweet spot, like a window where it's like, oh well, if we kept them until this day, we'd have to pay them until this day, so let's get rid of them right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and I wonder if this is related as well, SmackDown is no longer going to be on Fox. It's no longer going to be on, national TV, network television, which I guess isn't really a big deal because, you can watch your wrestling however you want to watch it, whenever you want to watch it. Nobody doesn't have access to the wrestling now,
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for like the game of the week, Fox 5, NFL, 25 million people watching, and there's an ad for WWF or WWE, I mean, So I don't know. To me, that's a downgrade.
Sorry, there was something fell upstairs. It was a distraction. No, I think them kind of doing the NFL, like you just said, thing is that because they've always chased the NFL. Remember, always with the statistics and stuff.
Right, they're trying to be part of like the mainstream world conversation,
And they have Gronk and Kittle, and who else showed up on like a Mania or on like a Raw or something.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like they do. The athletes love the wrestlers, and the athletes.
I mean, we're definitely going to get some sort of like Philadelphia Eagles thing and Mania. Or something, there's going to be,
maybe AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, destruction device. anytime clothesline.
Back to betting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how big of a fan of wrestling, there is, but look at also
AJ Brown seems like a really serious dude. I don't think that he watches wrestling.
Yeah, he takes himself a little too seriously.
He's a pretty angry guy, I feel like.
Did you see also they just released a few weeks ago the title belts that are all unique and inspired from every NFL franchise? You can get like a shitty looking replica belt for the Eagles and one for the Chiefs and Cowboys. How many people are going to be walking around with those in Philly? Did
you see?
Like I said, it's just another NFL thing. They're trying to really
right, and they send the championship belts to the players so that they can have it on the freaking So to me, WWE's quest to be like a legitimate, I don't know, top tier entertainment platform. It's like, they're pretty close to WWE. They're pretty close to football, but they're still like miles.
It's
away,
like AEW trying to be like WWE is WWE trying to be like
yeah, exactly. You nailed it.
Chasing their coattails, like it's like bigger fish, bigger fish, bigger fish.
Right, and to me, going from Fox back to USA, who knows? I'm sure the money was right, but to me, like just the public perception is it takes a hit there.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of replica belts, before we get into AEW, did you see that the Scissor Me Daddy replica belt is for sale? And the cost, do you want to guess how much it is, Joe? And it's got the scissored backs too.
I mean, it's got to be at least like, I think the AEW title is at least like 1,200, right?
Price is right, everybody. Drop your prices. Drop your guesses. Don't without closest to the amount without going over. $1 is always in play.
I'm gonna say, can it really be more than the AEW title? I'm gonna say 1,500.
Here's a hint. It's expensive.
So it's probably like $2,000.
Yo, I didn't know that the AEW title was that much money.
What is it, 2,500 for the AEW title?
I don't know. I don't know anything about replica belts. I just thought that they were like $150.
No, the replica ones, I used to have the spinner one.
Right.
And I got it off like Facebook Marketplace from someone in New Jersey, and I bought it off someone. I've long got rid of it, but was like 130 just on like Facebook Marketplace, and that's a good deal.
So brand new, would you say, due to inflation?
300, I think,
500?
like 300.
300?
No, well, there's different levels. There's the fake leather one, and then the real like one they have on like Raw and SmackDown.
So how much
And
is something like
those
that?
are like 700 to 1,000, depending on, you know, what kind of gimmick leather, like decals, whatever, side plates, all that shit, you know.
All right. Well, Joe is the clue. We only have one person who guessed, who decided to partake, and that's Urka with $269. Unfortunately, that's a little too low. Joe wins. He is the closest with $1,500. Actual retail price, $5,000. $5,000. Go ahead, look it up, Joe.
I got
AEW shop.
AEWmerch.com.
Somebody sent that to me. I did not confirm. I just decided to say it on the show. So fact check.
Oh my God, it is. What? I wonder if they had it at.
My sources came through.
Oh wait, is it all three?
Oh,
Only 10. Oh, per belt. Yeah, price $5,000 per belt. Only one belt comes in an order. Ring accurate. For a fucking. Oh, only 4 left. Only 10 are available, and there's only 4 left. Let me max out my credit card real quick.
Why do that when you could just apply for an AEW merch credit card available now?
With the blah, 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 cash back and many other perks towards AEW tickets. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So, you know who is going to be on SmackDown soon? Jade Cargill.
Oh, boy.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Jade Cargill was spotted in the Performance Center.
So was Randy Orton, apparently.
Breaking news, Randy Orton was spotted at the Performance Center. Coincidence? I think not.
They also have a meat shirt, by the way, on the AEW merch site.
Meat? Like it's made out of meat, like Lady Gaga?
No, the meat gimmick that they were doing on an All Out with Hobbs and Miro.
So what, the shirt just says meat?
Yeah. Beat your meat, or whatever they were doing.
Slap your meat.
Yeah, slap your meat. Yeah, beat your meat. I'm sorry.
Who do you want to see Jade Cargill face in WWE?
Nobody. I hate Jade. I never liked her.
I've always loved her, and
I'm more sick than I've ever been now because all I see is her face and people posting screenshots like, "Oh, she just got in her cab. Oh, she just got in her Uber ride to the Performance Center. She just stepped out of her Uber ride. She just stepped in the door. She just took a dump in the Performance Center." You know,
first dump.
Like, who fucking cares?
Well,
now that all the other news is coming out this week, thank God it got like dumbed down. So maybe it's like over with and no one's gonna hear from her, you know, again.
Breaking news: Jade Cargill just released.
It's really weird that they release all these other. It's so stupid how they release all these other people and then like bring her in. But she is perfect for them because she, you know, looks like a superstar and she can't wrestle herself out of a paper bag. So they will then now indoctrinate and, you know, build her up.
They'll mold her.
They'll mold her in the way that, you know, that's why they stopped signing people from the indies because they couldn't mold them. They're only going to go with bodybuilders. She's not even considered a wrestler. Let's be fucking real. Like, it's just like she was a bodybuilder, you know, in a competition, like did all like those pageants or whatever like that.
Would you say that somebody who went 65-0 is not a wrestler, Joe?
I'm sorry.
Come on.
But yeah. So they're gonna train her from the ground up. They only want bodybuilders, pageant girls, gymnasts.
Her versus Nia Jax, Stairway to Hell. Book it. Let's do it.
Well, that's why there's absolutely no like. If you watch it, I watched NXT for the first time, like for the, Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton, that match, and like nobody can cut a promo. You know, it's just like,
neither can Becky Lynch.
See you in the ring tonight and take back that NXT title. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, so you watched Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. The Rock was on SmackDown. Before we
I watched
take 5,
Collision, Dynamite, SmackDown, NXT, and I mean, I watched parts of all these things.
do you have notes on any last-minute WWE programming? We'll do a few minutes on your notes before we take 5 and get into AEW. Final notes on WWE. What did you think of The Rock?
Rock was cool. I mean, he seemed a little more in rock mode. You know when like The Rock comes back and he's not in like the mode yet?
Right.
Not like like he's not in that mode. He seemed a little more in that mode from the jump this time. A little more locked in. Was there like a botch somewhere in that promo with Austin Theory and McAfee? Like someone botched something.
I don't know.
I think it was McAfee, like Austin Theory part before Rocky came out.
I didn't. I just saw the clips and I liked the face that McAfee gave me. He's like, right before The Rock came out, he's like,
because they were both dressed the same too. He's like, oh, you're dressed like this, and I'm dressed like that. You know. Anyways, but yeah, Rock was good, and there was a face-to-face with Cena.
Right, incredible.
Yeah, I'm just more intrigued of where they're
member
go.
berries. Give me the membry berries. What's that sandwich? The sandwich in Rick and Morty that's made from other people's memories. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Whatever. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're like taking memories from our own brains and like putting it as icing on a cookie and feeding us that cookie back. And we're going,
Yeah, everyone's got and then Batista might be coming back too because everyone
Mortal Kombat.
That's all he's doing right now is Mortal Kombat.
You know, he just goes to talk shows all over. Just Mortal Kombat. You know what's crazy?
Oh shit, I need a script. I need work.
I really like the idea of there being like a big mainstream Mortal Kombat ad with like a mainstream, more or less, actor in it. Imagine you're like, 12 years old. It's like, oh, that's the guy from, Guardians of the Galaxy, Batista, It's like, oh, Mortal Kombat, this looks cool. And you go on YouTube and you look up Mortal Kombat and like, it's like the more modern ones have the absolute most grotesque, gory fatalities, like worse than any gore, any gore that you'll see in any movie or anything. It's like they're just chopping each other into little. I just think that's very funny. There's a mainstream Mortal Kombat commercial, but if you go look at it online, it's like the worst shit, like the worst fatalities.
It's a Disney, a superstar that was in a Disney film.
Right. It's like, oh, we got Batista, Mortal Kombat. It's for it's everybody from all walks of life are like following him. It's like Mortal Kombat's for everybody. It's like half those.
Mortal Kombat's for everybody.
It's like the
Rated
people
E
who
for everyone.
The people who work at the bank are gonna play the game for 5 minutes and be like, this is disgusting. Why do we follow Batista to that bridge and yell Mortal Kombat? This is depraved. This is.
I didn't realize that's what it was. I didn't realize people were disemboweled and.
I mean the last
Kung
3
Lao
games.
hat.
Yeah, it's like imagine the original game, and it's like they were really gory in concept, but the graphics really couldn't show you what was actually happening. It's like, no, in this one you see intestines and like you hear the sound like of meat. It's like the sound design is so good. It's like, like Kung Lao wins. Fatality,
brutality.
It's like, why did Dave Bautista tell us to buy this game? This is disgusting.
Yeah,
I don't.
Snowflakes.
This is like really like making me laugh seeing Batista.
But back to the Rock thing. Yeah, I mean, he also said something. What I call it a game day. Did that have any truth to it? That him and Roman were locked in. He's like, yeah, it was locked in, brother. And then Cody Rhodes fucked it up.
Yeah, he came in and he fucked it up. This motherfucker.
You know what's gonna happen now? We're never gonna finish the story.
Well, I want the story to now be that Cody Rhodes and The Rock have a thing, and The Rock has to be another person that Cody Rhodes has to beat.
That should be Rumble or maybe this other,
and you can start. I'm hoping that The Rock was planting seeds in that manner. Isn't one of them in Tampa? The Royal Rumble's in
Tampa.
I don't know. The Rock is a Florida man. He likes people.
He went to the U.
Oh yeah, if it was in Miami, I'd say it's a sure bet. But like, he might look down on Tampa. He'd be like, ugh,
Well, he also spent time in Philly too. Forgot what exactly he did in Philly, but
$7.
what?
He had 7. Hey, did you see?
Oh, he had $7. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Also,
$7 in my pocket.
You know that the Rock obviously travels with like probably half a dozen of his social media team, right? He probably has like a team with him. So you never see this, and I just made up this story in my mind. Like The Rock comes out on SmackDown, and the dead-on shot, you could see just like a civilian, just like a guy like you or me with like his phone, like doing like the filming and
oh wait, they ruined the shot.
Yeah. Did you see? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he came right. He literally walked right through Gorilla and did like just a complete pan, like over.
Yeah.
And the camera guy got all of it like in one shot. I saw the whole thing.
It was just a dude with like a man purse and his phone.
Yeah, he went right by, and then this, I don't know, it probably an edited cut after they cut away.
Right, yeah.
It went like behind the Rock, they cut away to like the
audience. But even in the edited clip, the guy was prominent.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a cameraman.
Ridiculous. That guy probably went into business for himself and just did that.
He's probably one of the Rock's guys, like a Team Under Armour dude or some shit.
Yeah. 100%. But no one can say anything. No one said anything.
Yo, don't yell at the Rock's people. He'll be pissed, you know? And the guy's just like running around backstage filming the
I think we have the chance of seeing like a pretty star-studded Mania. I mean, unless they like I'd really hate if they promoted it and they can't have him bail. I mean, they have to start they have to plan this like 6 months out now. You know, can they really, the writer's strike not be over by then? Or if it does end, it's not going to, all of a sudden people are going to be like filming movies and they have to get pulled from the show.
Well, I think so, because I think there were probably some movies that were just stopped right dead in the middle of their production. And especially
they're like, Rock, we're starting up next week. Sorry, can't go to Philly.
Well, I mean, more
That's
than
not
that.
Card chain. They don't do that.
Yeah, but The Rock is like one of the top 5 like movie star people, so you'd assume that as soon as the strike ends, like he would be one of those people who has something to do like immediately. You know,
yeah, but he's no matter what, he'll fulfill the booking if he's booked.
Will he? Will he?
I mean, I think we're locked in for at least one match.
The Jumanji trilogy isn't going to complete itself, Joe.
Yeah, we're waiting with bated breaths with that.
You know, those khaki shirts that you wear in the jungle aren't going to wear themselves. They're not going to sweat themselves up.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And that's Kevin Hart, right? And Jack Black, right? And
oh yeah.
Kieran Gillian, right?
He is literally sitting. The Rock is sitting by the phone waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And Cena too. So we'll see. Maybe Cena was only locked in for a few weeks. Like, oh, the strike will be over by then. And then he's just going to be around till next year.
These motherfuckers, these movie stars who were too good for fucking wrestling. They wanted to be on Good Day New York and all this fucking shit. And, you know, they're out of work for a few months. They come crawling back.
They, it's pretty funny. It's like COVID, kind of. Oh, it'll be over 6 to 8 weeks. It'll be over with soon.
Right.
The strike over with soon, you know? And now COVID's heating back up again. So it's like, maybe that'll fuck up some filming, but they'll film with masks and shit, so they'll be all right.
I mean, I have no problem moving to Saudi Arabia and watching my WWE there, if things get crazy here.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's an actor's strike over there.
I think you'll have bigger issues in Saudi Arabia.
Final thoughts, final sentence or two on WWE.
Didn't watch Raw. That was it. I mean, I watched Becky Lynch and Tiff Stratton. That was fine. And yeah, whatever. It was just for her to say she was a Grand Slam champion. That was really it. That's all I got for WWE.
All right, let's take 5, and then when we come back, we'll talk about AEW Grand Salami and all the trimmings. Take 5.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Here Comes the Lame. Speaking of lame, I really wanted to go to the AEW Grand Slam and sell some type of bootleg T-shirt on the bridge that connects the 7 train to the LIRR line right over there, but I didn't. Because
The Lawless Lane?
Yeah.
Lawless.
The lawless area, the bridge of lawlessness.
Yeah, Lawless Lane.
Yeah, Lawless Lane, just overlooking those trains. But we didn't. And you decided that you were going to spare your girlfriend the drive and the 6 hours of wrestling. And, Rampage was a bonus 2-hour episode.
Yeah, so, I mean, it would have been an hour and a half to New York, 3 hours from Brooklyn to Queens, and then 5 hours of wrestling, and then another hour and a half, 2 hours all the way back to Philly.
Yeah, but you could have gotten Lemon Ice King.
Lemon Ice King?
Yeah, the Lemon Ice King of Corona.
They serve that there?
No, it's in Corona.
Oh, in Corona, Queens.
It's kind of over there. It's kind of over there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I went to Corona when there was an Evolve show. I walked through there when they did Evolve. We used to do Evolve Progress double shots.
Oh, I know that place. I know that place that you're talking about. So, neither of us went to the Grand Slam. And like I said before, I was a little disappointed. I tuned in on television for no reason other than I wanted to see what it looked like from the television perspective. And it just looked like an AEW Dynamite. They had the roof closed. I mean, it was packed. They were able to do, like shots from the ceiling because it looked crowded. It was crowded 360 degrees around,
Yeah.
And the crowd was loud. But besides that, it was just another show, basically.
Yeah. It was a good show, I think, overall. Like, the matches were all solid wrestling-wise, but it still had the cringe backstage stuff and weird angles that were flat, and finishes were all weird, too. And
Did you feel like this episode was special because they were in the stadium?
absolutely not. No. Let me pull up my notes. I had to start. I was out with it was my girlfriend's birthday yesterday, so we went out to eat, and I missed the first 30 minutes.
Wait a second. Hold the phone.
Oh.
Where does an accomplished chef take their girlfriend out to dinner? What kind of restaurant? Did you research this intensely?
Not really. It was somewhere where we went not before. It was kind of like somewhere we haven't been. It's somewhere I tried to work. It's the most accomplished chef, I guess, in Philly. So I guess, there you go.
Was it delicious? What did you have?
Oh, it was very good. It was very good. It was a very nice dinner. Very nice spot. Like,
did you put like a napkin over your head to eat the pigeon type of thing?
There's no pigeon.
No.
We had octopus.
Right from Philadelphia Harbor. Caught right there.
Octopus, pasta.
Mm.
I had branzino and she had duck. So it was like kind of like Italian, French, or Riviera, Mediterranean inspired joint.
All Philadelphia animals.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my question. I was very curious.
No problem.
So AEW Grand Slam. You caught up on the first match?
I just watched a little bit of it, and then I got busy today because I was dealing with a tire, so I was not able to.
Well, it was title versus title. The
All right.
NJPW Strong Champion Eddie Kingston versus the ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know, Eddie Kingston won in his hometown.
That's a very storied matchup, those two guys.
Yeah.
From the Indies and Chikara and IWA Mid-South and CZW, and that matchup's been going on forever.
They just hate each other. Eddie Kingston cannot stand Claudio.
Yeah.
It's a jihad. It's a blood feud.
Yeah. And then what was after that?
Well, they did shake hands. They did shake hands after the match. Yeah. They showed the honor.
So Eddie Kingston's the ROH World Champion.
And the New Japan Strong something champion.
A belt. That's like the 24/7 title of New Japan.
Well, I mean, watch out, Eddie Kingston, because 15-time 24/7 champion Dana Brooke is a free agent now. So you never know what could happen.
And then when I put it on Jericho versus Sammy. So what was in between that? Was there any like cringy Renee before that?
Oh no, there was no cringy Renee. There was just television gold on in between that, which is my new favorite wrestling character, Roderick Strong. With the glasses and the neck brace. He kind of looks like a cross between Chris Moltisanti on The Sopranos and what's his name? Michael Douglas in Falling Down. It's kind of like a weird mix. And so I guess what happened is Roderick Strong wanted to win this tournament to face MJF at the Grand Slam and prove to Adam Cole that Roderick Strong is once and for all a better friend and better wrestler than MJF. This was Roderick Strong's plan. Even though he had a bad neck, he's been walking around with a neck brace, he's going to enter this tournament, he's going to beat all of the people, and he's going to beat MJF for the title, winning back Adam Cole's love, because Adam Cole loves MJF more than Roderick Strong now. I think this is written by Tony Khan, and I think it's very autobiographical. Like, why else would Roderick Strong be wearing Tony Khan's glasses?
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously at some point in his life, this actually happened.
Like the big boy Coke bottle glasses?
Yeah, he's wearing I feel like sometime in Tony Khan's life, he had a hurt neck, and in that time of his recovery, his friends moved on and stopped being, and he was like the third wheel, the odd man out. So I feel like this is really ripped from Tony Khan's life.
Yeah.
But anyway, Roderick Strong, in this attempt, got murdered last week by Samoa Joe, choked out, and, you know, basically had his neck re-injured. So this week, Joe, he's not at Grand Slam. He's in a hospital bed, laid up. And Adam Cole goes to visit him. And then Roderick Strong's like, you came. You actually came. And Adam Cole's like, yeah, man, you know, like, I'm worried about you, blah, blah, blah. And then who's there but Matt and Mike Bennett and Matt Taverna or whatever. Yeah. So then they're there, too, and they're like, actually, we were just leaving. We got a big match tonight at the Grand Slam thing. And Roderick Strong's like,
on Rampage.
Yeah, okay.
Hour 2 of Rampage when everyone's dying of starvation and dehydration.
Right, that's why it's 8:30 and we only have to leave to get there now because we go on at 1 in the morning.
And all the traffic, Jesus.
But so then they leave and Adam Cole's like, you know, Roderick, I feel for you. You know, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. But actually, I have to leave too. Because I, too, have a big thing to do at the stadium. And Roderick Strong's like, what, you don't have a match? You don't have a match? He's so funny in his delivery. So Adam Cole's like, I have to stay. I have to leave because I have to be in MJF's corner. This is my best friend, MJF. He's got a big match. I got to be there. And Roderick Strong guilts Adam Cole into staying at his bedside.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense why he wasn't there in the main.
Yeah. And actually, before this even, oh my God, Joe, there's so much you missed. Before this, Adam Cole and MJF pull up to the arena in a Porsche. And they get out and, like, you know, Adam Cole's standing behind MJF, like they're a united front. But then Adam Cole gets a call from Roderick that was guilting him into visiting him at the hospital. And Roderick Strong, like, and on the other end, Adam Cole's like, Roddy, you're not dying. You're not dying. You're not going to die. So I just think that's really funny. So
I'll rewatch it. I have to rewatch it. I'm sorry.
I don't think you
have to. I forgot
you
texting me about it, and then I got busy today.
I don't think you have to. I think I just described it perfectly to you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then what was after that?
Then that's what you were just going to talk about, which is Guevara and Jerry.
Okay. So Jericho and Sammy, what I said was good, but Jericho won on Happy Face. I walked away to eat birthday cake, and Sammy joined Don Callis.
Yeah.
Dude will never shine.
Sammy?
Yeah.
You don't think that Sammy and Don Callis is a good pairing?
Well, I think Don, the only person that's left to help someone like Sammy is probably Don, because he's also going to try and put over Take a Shit as well, or Alpha Shit. It seems like they're getting all the most potentially, you know, the best prospects that AEW has in the Don Callis family, right?
Yeah, that does seem. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, who else is with them? That's it, right? It's just them two now, right? Take a shit and Sammy and Don. That's it, right?
I don't know. When you say take a shit, I can't remember his actual name.
I'm sorry.
Takeshita. Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like if it was just Sammy with just Don, it would have a little bit more impact. You know what else took away from the impact of this as well is that so it was a shocking turn. So Jericho beats Sammy Guevara. They go into the match as friends.
First of all, how do you feel about Jericho? Well, I mean, I guess because of the angle, it makes sense, but Jericho winning.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I guess because the angle, it makes sense, and I gotta believe that Jericho's going to give him the match back.
Yeah. I mean, now that he turned on him, now the match actually have heat, and it makes sense because Don kept shitting on Jericho. So actually, I guess in retrospect,
yeah, it's not a bad
term storytelling does prevail here. Been shitting on it, and now it actually seems decent.
Well, it still definitely sucks. And did you see that when Sammy kicked Jericho in the balls, Jericho like dropped to his knees and like
I saw? Yeah, I missed that part. I guess he like rolled down him. Like, who did that in the E?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know who did that in the E? Jericho betrayed his elder Shawn Michaels.
That's what it was.
By kicking Shawn Michaels in the balls, and then Shawn Michaels, did the old, let me wipe my face with your sweaty chest thing on the way down. So, the roles are reversed. Yeah, like, what's that movie?
It's like
Shallow Hal?
Poetry.
Where they're playing basketball, and the guy's chest, the sweaty chest just goes to the guy's face. So there's like that's really long, Joe. That's incredibly long.
It's like poetry. It's like Star Wars. It's like it's like poetry. It rhymes.
So, but you know what really fucked this up, and this is the problem with AEW among many, is that shocking betrayal. Wow, a long-term friendship is now ruined, and Don Callis and Sammy Guevara have aligned themselves. And that's all I need to see. That's all I need to see. And then next week they could do something else, right? But instead they fucking hot shot it or just add something to it where now the cameras are backstage as Sammy Guevara gets behind the curtain and he bumps shoulders with Daniel Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
Oh, wait a minute. This was a Renee segment.
Was it? Did this turn into?
All right. So Renee rolls up on like Don and Sammy. Backstage. Okay, yeah, this is it. So it's Renee trying to grab a word with Sammy and Don, and they're like, screw you, whatever. They just kind of like blow her off, and then they start walking back up this long corridor, and then they see Danny, but in the shot in the back is still Renee. Exactly. She is literally like in the back. Gotta be on camera at all times.
Like overacting, facial acting, like woo.
Can't really see her facial expressions, but it's just her be like, "Oh, doing this kind of in the air thing in the back." Like, why?
So you hate Renee.
And then guess who was up next? Moxley.
Well, anyway, just to put a finish on that, I just thought the fact that interview needed to become another thing, it's just too convoluted. Just let him turn. Let him say what he has to say with Don, and then tune in next week to see who he bumps into. Why has he got to bump into him right away? It's so dumb.
Yeah, they don't let stuff sit.
Yeah. And Daniel Garcia isn't even friends with Chris Jericho anymore. He danced his way out of his life.
And they weren't even really like, they didn't flesh out the JAS anyway.
Right. So that's dumb. That's not long-term storytelling. That's just long.
Yeah. It's just too many cooks in the kitchen.
Wild thing.
But they'll probably lead to like Jericho and Danny versus
Takeshita and Guevara.
Whatever. Phoenix and Moxley was next.
So the guy who came to put the donut on your car made it to Queens in time to wrestle Rey Fenix.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I got you.
He looked a little greasy when he showed up.
I got you. Yeah, when I picked up the donut or the tire when it was done, I was like, oh. And I was like, wow, damn. And then, like eye black, like baseball player eye black. They do the cross. I'll do the cross. Yeah.
Yeah, the old Jalen Hurts, just two triangles, like some fucking demolition type shit.
Yeah. Match was good. But I don't know what happened. Apparently something happened at the end of this match. I was very back and forth. Like I said, I was busy yesterday, so I was back and forth. All I have is who won, and then I saw in retrospect that apparently this wasn't supposed to be the finish of the match. Someone might have got injured. Do you know anything about this?
So Penta hit a pile driver.
Oh.
Didn't look any more crazy than anything else that happens, and apparently
doing a tombstone.
Well, yeah. Well, apparently Moxley. I'm hoping that it's an angle. I'm hoping that it's like a Moxley special, because it just seems strange that it would end that way. Like, when somebody gets really hurt, more often than not, they'll just call the match. Like, you don't really see, I don't know, I guess because Sasha Banks got hurt and called the audible and lost to Willow. So I guess you do see it.
You got to finish the match depending on what it is. You don't want to be like Sin Cara and be like,
yeah, but you got to finish the match and
I'm done, bro. I'm done.
So, okay, so you think the match was cut short and it was always going to be Phoenix winning? Or you think that, because the way it ended was that the pile driver happened and the 3 was counted, and it was almost like the referee and Phoenix were both shocked that Moxley didn't kick out. That's kind of how it ended.
Yeah, fucking Rick Knox was the ref. He didn't count the 3.
He did. Oh, I don't remember. Did he not, or did he do it very hesitantly?
From what I saw, like I said, I walked away, but what I saw in clips, he hit the tombstone, didn't count the 3, then got him back up, hit him with it again, counted the 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an angle. And you know what else, too? You haven't heard any updates.
It's like he killed him both times on it, dude.
Well, but okay, but you haven't heard any updates, whereas, like, if there was something serious, like, not in storyline for real that happened, I feel like you'd hear an update about, oh, Jon Moxley is injured, or he went to the hospital.
I think I did see an update, but it didn't say he was. I think it may have just said he was just injured or potentially injured. They didn't have any sort of facts yet, or announcement yet, an official announcement or diagnosis from it. So
yeah, well,
you could be right though.
And I don't know, it's a little strange that Orange Cassidy held that title for so long, and they're really positioning it to be like the workhorse title, like an IC type of thing.
Yeah.
Person defends it on international waters. It's a traveling guy. And it's just weird, like, that it flip-flopped so quickly from Moxley.
That's AEW in general. It's flip-flop, but hot potato belt. That's what they did with the TNT title.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey rushed up the middle for a 4-yard touchdown. Let's go. Best draft pick.
Nice
Number
job.
2 draft pick. Thank you. Hey, listen, just watch those little legs, Chrissy. And then the next thing that happened was another title change.
Who was it?
Well, this might come as a surprise to you, but it was my match of the night. I thought the crowd was super into it.
I have Phoenix versus Moxley, and then next up I had Tony Storm versus Saraya. Did I miss something?
Oh, yeah, I guess Tony Storm didn't win, did she?
You thought she won?
Yeah, I guess in my mind she won.
In my mind. You had Judas in your mind. That's why. You had Judas
I had the Judas in my mind. All right, so whatever. But it was a good match, actually. It was a really good match. I liked it.
No, it was good. It wasn't like Saraya wasn't taking. Like I said, every match on the show I think was good. But Saraya didn't take a lot of bumps. There wasn't like some crazy worked match. It was more.
She took the pile driver.
Yes,
she took the Tony Storm effect or whatever the fuck she calls it.
The Strong Zero or whatever that is called.
Storm Zero.
Storm Zero or Strong Zero? I don't know.
Mountain Dew Code Zero.
And Tony Storm with a new entrance, the black and white kind of like old film grain
classic
kind of
Portrait of a Star.
Yeah. And then also putting over the shoes.
Right, you always gotta. Now the shoe is gonna be in everything. You gotta have the shoe in every single thing now.
Yeah, but she had like shoes on her. She was throwing and hitting people with shoes. You saw that, right?
Yeah, and she had extra shoes under the ring too.
Yeah.
She always brings a spare.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're right. So Saraya won.
Saraya won with they flip-flop the can of spray. Like Tony tried to do it on her, and then Saraya got it on her and then hit her with the what's that, the small package driver or whatever she has.
The nightcap.
Is that what it's called?
And did you see the this was pretty funny too. They took the bottom turnbuckle off. Because,
this was bad. I wrote this in notes. I was like, this was really bad. This was rotten.
So walk the viewers at home through.
So they took off the bottom turnbuckle in one of the corners.
Exposed metal,
kind of working around it. I think at one point they were going to put someone's face on it. They didn't do it. And then Saraya gets thrown in the corner and Tony's going to do the butt bomb, the butt thing where the running butt in the corner.
Hip attack.
Yeah. And then Tony goes running in and Saraya like moves like super fucking early.
So early.
And then like Tony sees it before she turns around and then turns around anyway. And it was just bad.
This was just a bad concept. Like, the wrestling trope is that the top rope exposed metal, you slam the person's head into the metal. Like you wouldn't, theoretically, by wrestling physics, if you lay somebody's head on metal and then like punch them in the head, it's not really doing that much extra damage. Like you more want to like slam their head. So Saraya, she's got a history of neck injuries. She's laying in the corner with her head on this exposed metal. It was so funny. She was laying in such like it was like her neck was already broken. She's laying there like so. And then Tony Storm goes to do the butt attack. Saraya moves, maybe a tad early. And the whole point is that, ow, my butt!
And she moved like fucking a minute too early. Like as soon as like Tony broke for the buckle, like
she was out of there.
Out.
Yeah, she didn't want no part of them cheeks. And anyway,
maybe she didn't want. I don't know. She has a messed up neck, so she didn't want to take it.
Yeah, no risk. So, so I guess the point is that. Oh, I hurt my butt on the exposed metal. But her butt didn't even hit the exposed metal either. It just like it
hit the top turnbuckle, yeah. Because you're not going where you stand, like,
And like I don't know.
Height hits the middle turnbuckle, not the bottom.
You'd
have to like sit. You'd have to like go like down into it somehow.
You could kick out of like a DDT, but if you hit your butt, if you run your own butt into a piece of metal, like you're like paralyzed. Your actual reaction would be like, ow, my butt. Oh man, what is that? A metal thing?
So yeah, no title change on that. But what else was there before the main? Was there anything else that I missed? Or
well, there was a MJF pre-promo. Brett.
It was they did a homage to the Brett promo, the Brett vignette of I don't know, when he was the champ, I guess, back in the 90s, and it was like a little kid down the hallway from Brett about to go out for his match, and he goes, Brett! And he turns around, says right in his face, and he goes up and he gives him the glasses. MJF did it with his scarf.
Yeah, but then told the kid that he was adopted.
Yeah, then they ruined the segment.
I think...
so they had it going. It was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then, why am I adopted? I'm like, oh, and the crowd's like, ho 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 ho.
Did you realize what this was right as soon as it was happening?
Oh yeah.
See, I didn't. So like,
because you're not a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
like
because
me.
I'm not a real wrestling fan. I didn't realize what it was. So for somebody who was already suckling at the memory teat. And be like, oh, it's nostalgia. Wow, they're paying. Like, so if you're watching it like that, you're like, this is awesome. But for me, I didn't make the connection. So it was just odd. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was campy and odd in a way that if you knew what it was referencing, it's like, oh, this is great. But I just thought it was like an odd thing. I was like, this is strange. Like,
yeah. You had
weird.
Yeah, it's I don't know where exactly it was from. I don't know if it was something that you repeat on WWF TV or if it was from one event.
Well, that Bret Hart thing is actually a copy of an NFL thing. You know, or it's like, I guess it borrows from it. There's a very famous Coca-Cola Classic commercial where, you know, it's like Mean Joe Green or whatever, and it's like, and the kid's like, Joe! And like the guy walks over and he's like all intimidating, but then he winds up putting his jersey on the kid.
Oh, so
and the kid like gives him a Coke or something, you know?
Yeah.
So
it was
like
an NFL thing, and then WWF took
right,
it.
so yeah. So the Bret Hart thing is also odd because if you didn't know what that was referencing at the time, you'd be like, this is strange. So it's like without the memory berries, you know,
memory buried McGriddle.
The Pepperidge Farm memories. I remember this when I grew up.
Yeah.
Look, it's an Easter egg. It's long-term storytelling.
Did you like the so Moxley Joe, MJF Joe main event? MJF comes out wearing this jacket that had Mets, Giant logos, Mets, Giants. Who else?
Jets.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see Jets. I saw
on the front, it was Buffalo. Like, what a freaking loser, dude.
Why is he representing the Buffalo Bills?
I got to tell you something, Joe. In this moment, I'd never been more ashamed to be from Queens or be a New York wrestling fan. Because let me tell you something. If there was a wrestler from Philadelphia wrestling in Philadelphia and he had a freaking Pittsburgh Steelers patch on his jacket, what would the Philadelphia crowd do to him?
Come out of the fucking building.
Right. So MJF, you know, and this is something even more cringe than the member berries. You know, the member berry. MJF is just on a different level of cringe. Babyface MJF is the worst, dude. And I don't know what his history is. I'm sure he's
super over with it, though. That's the thing.
I'm sure his rich family got him on the Rosie O'Donnell show. So I'm sure that he has a picture of him as a kid from a Mets game because his parents were rich, so he did everything that kids do, you know.
He was at the Mets game this week, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God. First of all, MJF is a rare person who looks bad in a baseball cap. He looks so stupid and so bad. And, and you know, it's like he was like, hey, you know who's a schmuck? Chase Utley. It's like, MJF, did you text a friend who's the most hated Mets you know, and he was just pandering to the Mets. And then he came out and he had the Mets pinstripe outfit, better than you, baby, and the Mets. What the
I like
fuck
the shirt. I thought the
happening?
shirt was dope because I mean these guys make way better than they actually are, but it was like Mets colors and then the Bebe.
Yeah, and they were both number 31. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you like the New York Mets? You like Mike Piazza? Name 5 songs. All right? MJF. The New
Double
York
clothesline
Mets.
too. Double clothesline on the back.
And
yeah.
the kangaroo kick and all his fucking bullshit, his Mets colors. And you know, listen, I'm a Mets fan. But that's not something like you wear the Yankees pinstripes when you wrestle in New York, but you don't wear the Mets pinstripes.
Yeah.
Ugh. It made me sick.
Pinstripes are synonymous with the Yankees. That's why I was confused. And I was like, oh, yeah, Mets have pinstripes too.
Right. He was wearing like the lame. He had like his Mets gear was like the lame version of their uniform. He could have done like a black and orange and blue type of thing.
Yeah, which is very... those nighttime ones that they wear.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like, you know the joke where you come out, if you're a babyface, you come out and be like, there's no better place that I like to be than right here in New York, you know, whatever.
Totally, yeah.
So to wear a fucking jacket with all the patches of the teams is so fucking lame. It's like the lame thing to do as a heel is to go and be like, hey, you know what team? This local sports team sucks. It's just as lame to wear a jacket with all the local sports teams' logos, and you put the Buffalo Bills on there.
What is up with that?
Oh, my God, dude. And, you know, if it was, hey, Islanders, Jets, Mets, and he's like, hey, I'm a New York guy. These are my teams.
Oh, that's what it was. It was Giants, Mets, Islanders, Bills. I didn't see I just said Jets again. Giants, Bills, Mets, and Islanders.
Anyway, fuck him and fuck that jacket, okay? So
I didn't see any
me.
bets on it I mean, like, whatever.
It just annoyed me.
I was going with the blue gimmick And so he's like, oh, let's put the Bills on there.
Yeah, Buffalo, they're New York. Shut up. Shut up.
Fucking Canada. It's fucking closer to Canada.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, I grew up taking the LIRR to Shea Stadium. Shut up. No, you didn't.
So yeah, the match was good.
The match was good. I did like the match.
And then what was the finish?
I know that Adam Cole finally came out to say that. I mean, MJF just straight up kicked out of the Muscle Buster, which was wild.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like when they that's something I dislike about wrestling just overall, which made me stop being like a regular fan or as enthralled and daily watcher of
the 2 counts on the finishes.
It's just like bastard, like just like not just not selling, but also not selling the finisher, and not a finisher is meaning nothing.
Right. Well, I'll take a slightly different approach. I think that if you have a finisher like the Superman punch or like the super kick or something that's a quick strike, I don't mind. Like if the strategy of your character is to hit that move quickly, like Brock will hit an F5, but the person, because it's the first move in the match, they'll kick out. So if your character is somebody who by design uses the finisher several times throughout the match, I don't hate the kickouts. But something like the Muscle Buster, you don't kick out of the Perfect Plex. You don't kick out of the Muscle Buster.
Like kick out of the One-Winged Angel, no one has.
Right, like something that's like a big involved thing should be a one and done.
But Kenny also protects his Kenny, who also the Elite, nowhere on this show.
Yeah, odd.
I think they were maybe on Rampage.
I don't. Now that
Bryan
I'm
Danielson nowhere on this show, maybe on Rampage as well. Top Star is all missing from this show.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even notice they were gone. Honestly,
it was a 2-hour Dynamite. They were probably on there.
Yeah, I probably.
All I know is like they were going so fast forward with announcing stuff, and I was more in shock that like, and just like, oh, I'm so happy I'm not there. Experiencing this, because people in chat don't understand, or anyone listening to this, like it's a pain in the ass to get to Arthur Ashe Stadium. Like it really is.
Not easy. It's only easy for me because I live 10 minutes away.
Yeah, and you still didn't go.
Yeah.
You still got to go off. I don't know how long of a walk is it to the train.
Well, I'm a pretty quick drive, so I'm a much easier Uber or like a quick drive, and I know the secret parking spots around there, which is key.
Okay.
I used to grow up going to Mets games. I know the secret parking spots. MJF don't know the secret parking spots.
No.
He don't know Lemon Ice King.
You still got to walk. I was telling my girl, like, you still got to walk all the way up the pier.
Right.
And then it's so weird there. You have to you show your ticket, or you go through like the metal detector or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole like utopia behind that.
Yeah, you're just on the ground.
Like shops.
Yeah.
And food and shit. Which everything was probably closed around that time, but still, like it's all catered towards like rich Wimbledon tennis folk. Like
I would love to go actually.
Sephora.
I would love to go there when it is the U.S. Open with all the rich fucks, when all those stores are open.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the money to do it, but I bet you could go eat like a freaking lobster tail sandwich and, buy yourself a new golf club.
Yeah, $35 lobster roll.
$5,000 scissor meat championship belt in the boutique.
Yeah. But the match was good, and then he won with he tried to use the ring, that didn't work. He ended up using some, I don't know, piano wire to cut Joe's throat open or something.
I loved that I love that he put on the ring, but because he's a good guy now, he like looked at the camera and was like, whoop, like I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I thought that was a nice
bag. Yeah, I think he does that well, where it was like, oh, I gotta cheat, man. Like
they were cheating, like whatever. But
that's why I think that this version of MJF is, I don't say, oh, it's amazing, but like I think for it being a baby face, I think it works for me because like he's still doing his heel stuff. He's not squeaky clean.
Yeah, he's still an asshole. Yeah,
he's still gotta cheat. Yeah, he cheated to win in this,
and it is interesting.
And Eddie Guerrero cheated to win, and he was the big baby face.
Yeah, no, it does have more depth than the average thing because he's still an asshole, but he's good. But yeah, dude, the jacket made me fucking.
Yeah, there is a lot of and some decisions.
But you know what's cool is that we could both agree that he'll eventually go back to being a heel, and that the corniness of him as a babyface works with his inevitable future heel turn, because it'll be part of the reason why you hate him now. It's like looking back, wow, he was so obviously pandering to us. You know, it's like part of his future heel persona is how corny and of a good guy he was, you know? Yeah. So, and I thought it was a good match, and Adam Cole came out at the end.
Apparently Adam injured himself.
Did he?
He jumped off that, you know how the ramp was the elevated ramp?
Right.
WCW 2000 ramp. He jumped off there and it's apparently messed up his ankle.
Oh, no.
Because he was limping at the end of the match.
Oh, no. Adam, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
You got to wear those wrestling boots. Those high-top Nikes aren't giving you the ankle support you need, you know?
Yeah, that's why you wear boots, brother.
Damn, that's terrible.
The business, brother.
I wonder what that means for the
overall,
future.
And then the show kind of just ended flat. It was kind of like his music hit, and they're kind of just like, this is some... AEW does this a lot for their pay-per-views and big shows. Everyone is just kind of like waiting for an angle or some surprise, and it's just like they're kind of just waiting. It's like kind of just dead air, and people are just kind of like selling and walking around. I mean, there was a handshake between Joe and MJF, but then like everyone was, it was still another like 2 or 3 2 minutes, full 2 minutes of like nothing happening.
Well, it's just a WrestleMania celebration, really.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, and that's what happened too. Is that Samoa Joe was going to beat up Adam Cole, and a beaten down, exhausted MJF got in between them and still sacrificed himself and said, Joe, no, don't beat him. You know, I think they missed a really good opportunity. I couldn't believe that they didn't do this spot. You know how in this version of MJF as the babyface, he really builds up the dive. You know, like he really, like, you know, he's not comfortable doing it, but like the fans get behind him and he like does it.
Yeah.
And I just think that there would have been a great opportunity if they had done that into Joe, like walking away. You know how Joe does the walk away?
Yeah.
When somebody's doing
like
a high fly.
When Punk did the tope and he just kind of casually walks away.
Yeah, he casually walks away. Yeah, I think that would have been a great spot where MJF is like getting ready to do the dive, and you know, and then Joe just like no sells and walks away. That would have been a great moment. Very surprised they didn't do that, but yeah, I like that match too. I liked Tony Storm Saraya better a little bit,
but I think it was a good show overall. Apparently, they might be going now that they we didn't talk about this yet, but they might be moving, or they are confirmed kind of moving to 12 pay-per-views a year.
Yes, 12 pay-per-views a year. I feel like Tony Khan said that on something recently.
And they're saying that I guess maybe this might be one. Like Grand Slam is going to become a pay-per-view.
Huh. Well, and HBO Max is in the fold as well, and you were aware of this also because HBO Max is now going to be offering like a premium sports portion of their programming.
AEW ticket, like NFL ticket.
Yeah, where you could catch up on all the rampages that have ever been filmed. You could watch the rampages live right after Dynamite. If you can't be here live to sit for a 5-hour show, all you gotta do is subscribe to AEW Tickets Plus, and you could pretend like you are at Arthur Ashe, and you could start at 5 and go all the way to midnight watching wrestling live. You don't have to wait till Friday like all the other
marathon shows from your couch.
Yeah. You know,
we ain't coming there.
Experience the
gas is $4. I'm good.
So that's the rumor that this new sports wrinkle of HBO is going to house either AEW or potentially even a TKO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to get their library up for a potential sale probably in a few years. So
who AEW?
Yeah,
start saving.
Well, that's why they always that's why they're always doing gimmick matches, because they want to have this big old library of stuff they could show people. You know, more games and barbed wire blow up matches and this and that. And they're going to have 12 pay-per-views a year. 12 pay-per-views a year while running these big arenas. They're really going to stretch themselves then, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
And Collision and Rampage and Dark and Dynamite, like they're going crazy.
See, I think it would be cool if I feel like less pay-per-views a year is probably better. It's different, I guess.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Because as a live crowd, you don't want to come to the same towns all the time, like so many times a year. So if it was 4 pay-per-views a year, then that whole week could be like a celebration. It could be like a little mini WrestleMania week. But I guess on the other end, it's like the South Park streaming wars. Everybody wants content. It really doesn't even matter how many people are live in the building because they're selling the content to like all these services. I guess that's the plan.
Was that a recent episode of South Park?
No, it was during the pandemic, the streaming wars.
Did I not see that one?
They have a series.
I remember all the ones with them in school with COVID and they got locked in.
Yeah, the COVID special, the post-COVID special, and the post-COVID special. I think there were 3 COVID like movies and 2 streaming wars movies, but the streaming wars were connected to the COVID ones as well.
Yeah, maybe I haven't seen them because they were far and few between. They weren't like doing
they're fucking hilarious though. They're geniuses, brilliant.
Yeah.
What else is going on at AEW? I saw another thing that it's like who's wrestling at Wrestle Dream? Hangman is fighting somebody that I like kind of laughed about.
Oh yeah, they had new matches for Wrestle Dream. It's not as dreamy as we thought it was gonna.
Oh, I gotta ask you this: did you see that in between commercials, or I guess maybe on Rampage, that Tony Khan reached a new level of memedom and did Daniel Garcia's dance?
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was pretty bad. It looked like he was having a stroke. Really?
Yeah, it was. Speedy recovery to Tony Khan after that dance.
Yeah, only matches announced are still Danielson versus Zack Sabre, Strickland versus Shane Strickland.
That's who it is.
Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page, and then FTR versus Aussie Open. I think that's all that's announced.
Right, and whoever wins and whoever won the Rampage tag team thing is going to fight MJF and Adam Cole. I mean, theoretically, unless Adam Cole broke his freaking ankle.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's a week from this Sunday. So we'll preview that next weekend. We'll do Dynamite and preview that next week. And then we'll have an awesome review a week after that.
Can't wait. Pretty good for 2 guys who watch the shows or barely paying attention or don't even watch them.
In and out of the room via GIFs and Instagram and kind of notes and results. And
it's just on in the house somewhere.
Listen vicariously through podcasts and stuff. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I want to say that I think I'm ready to admit to myself that I think the Jim Cornette podcast might have jumped the shark.
Really?
I just am so sick of them so sick of hearing them talk about Conrad Thompson. Or Conrad, what the fuck's the guy's name? The guy who like stole the money from them.
Oh, I don't know.
What the hell's the guy's name? Colin Tompkins.
Yeah, I kind of fast forwarded that this week. It was kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's all they do is talk about how the guy stole their money, and oh my God, it's like, get over it. Who cares?
Yeah, what the hell was it? Like they went into business with somebody.
I guess they were with Cast Media or something, and this like they were like it's like a place for many podcasts. Yeah, and I guess like they would handle all the advertising, and then you would get money. You know, it's like a middleman of monetization and distribution, and I guess like they're like owed money.
And they literally talked about it for like an hour on the show.
They talk about it for an hour.
Podcast is already 5 to 6 hours long already, and they want to bore the fuck out of people.
I'm getting
like I don't see the point of doing that. They're not going to chop that up for YouTube, are they? You know how they like do all like a chopped up like how are they going to make an animated South Park looking thumbnail?
Right. That. Well, no, but they did, and I guess they did as part of like they're kind of like they're out to get this guy. Yeah, because the company went bankrupt on purpose and started a new company, and instead of paying all the artists that they owed money to, they offered them stock options in the new company. So it's like they got swindled, you know. And so, yeah, the guy's like an asshole or whatever, but it's like, and you know what? It's not even the hour-long chunks where they're actually on that topic. It's almost like when there's a low-hanging insult to say, they go, yeah, like Cast Media.
Yeah.
It's like,
then they said it again. Yeah, I remember.
It's kind of like,
I mean, I guess maybe they figured the Cornette cult of Cornette can really get behind them on social media, and they could somehow, they can really, like, you know, circle the wagons and rally the mob.
Right. Well, that's what they're doing. They're like, you know, it's like when Cornette hated Optimum Cable, and he would like yell about Optimum Cable every day, you know. But that was like
Optimum
funny.
or Spectrum?
Yeah, Spectrum or something. And he'd be like, I just want it. And so it's like, but that's funny to me. Like him complaining about his cable company is like hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
because everyone gets screwed. I got screwed by my cable company.
Of course. So the fact that
everybody does.
He decides like, I'm gonna take 15 minutes out of my show every week to yell about Spectrum Cable.
No,
like that's very funny.
Rotten Spectrum.
They got people in my walls. Yeah, but the fact that they're like, I guess what's his name, Colin Thompson or something.
Conrad, not Conrad.
It's not
Thompson.
Conrad Thompson. That's another guy who I'm annoyed by. All right, well. Pretty good. Thursday show, back on track, going strong. And you know what? Finishing up with enough time for us both to watch the second half of this NFL game and count our money. Because there is a name on the contract for who's going to buy AEW. But the name isn't Khan. It's Jedi Joe and PK of the Boulevard Bullies. The gambling success stories. Zeros to heroes. Millionaire gamblers. The two best sports gamblers in probably all the world, they hit it big just by betting Thursday Night Football and playing fantasy football. Now they've together combined with Dolph Ziggler, and they have enough money to buy AEW, and that's exactly what we're going to do. 12 pay-per-views, try 24.
24/7 title, brother.
It's coming back, 24/7 title. All right, much love to Dana Brooke and everybody else out there. Thanks for watching. Jedi Joe, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Grand Slam was good. I don't know if it should be upgraded to a pay-per-view. 12 times a year is probably pretty bad. I think they already had enough shows. WWE sucks getting laid off, but I think all those people will land just fine. They didn't really want to be there.
Except for Top Dollar, who has shown failures in landing many times.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have the preview for Wrestle Cream next week, and then we're going to talk about Tournament of Death also, maybe, but that's not happening this weekend now.
Not happening.
That got postponed. I might still do it, but we'll see. It's going to be like a double header, kind of like Simpsons Road Rage kind of thing.
You don't want to get but you don't want to get trapped out there in like floods. I don't think that parking lot out there in Williamstown drains very well.
If the weather's not nice, I'm not going, you know. But it's 2 weeks from now. Might have some more yard sale stories or something next week, too. So we'll see.
Maybe we'll set up a yard sale at Tournament of Death.
A flea market, just wrestling shit. It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. You know, Boulevard Bullies does have a table.
People might want to cut, though. That's the thing.
Well, Boulevard Bullies does have a table. You know, we leverage our social media juggernaut status to, you know. So we might be able to do it. Anyway, out of time. Bye-bye.
See ya.